Okay, looks like this clip is going to be another one with a bit of an awkward endpoint. Literally just under a minute too long for my tastes. Granted, it's not like YouTube really cares these days if a video is over half an hour long anymore. I've just come to enjoy formatting my videos as if we still have that limit. It's a nice way for me to tell myself I've done enough for now, take a break and upload before working on the next piece of the project. Well, looks like we've still got the usual generic king sprite here. That makes 3 times we've seen it with no change despite each king being the lord of a different realm and it being kind of story relevant. The queen sprite is new though, really, several kingdoms, one of which was a matriarchy, and this is the first time we've seen a queen in this game. Oh, I'm sorry, am I supposed to feel some kind of emotion here? At best, the dramatic music notes just made me chuckle a bit. But how the hell am I supposed to feel any sort of emotion for Edge having to fight against monsters that were wearing the faces of his parents? We just met the man, and we already had our fill of family-related deaths with Rydia's mother and Tella's daughter, both of which were supremely well done. Seriously, give me something that makes me care about Edge as an individual, and doesn't make me just compare him to other members of the cast unfavorably. Don't make me keep thinking Edward would have done the whole mournful prince thing better than this guy ever could. And really? He's asking what's going on? The man's a ninja. Shouldn't he have been taught at some point how to deal with his enemies using illusions or playing mind games with him? Or was Genjutsu not invented yet when this game was released? Well, they certainly like spitting fire at us. Too bad for them we're ready for that kind of offense. Huh. Why did the music suddenly change tracks? Bit of an oily rainbow on the big one, not sure what's going on there. And now the snake one too, even though we didn't strike that one at all just yet. Wait, broke free? I thought this was a case of the enemy just disguising themselves as someone else. Was I supposed to stop attacking when the music shifted? Because I am just eagerly keeping the beating coming. Yeah, I kinda noticed. Pretty hard to confuse you for human with your bodies looking like that. Hell, the queen doesn't have arms or legs anymore, and how is the king talking without a mouth? Well, that makes 2 of you. I don't feel sorry for Edge at all. Maybe I've just become far too cynical or something. Again, this game has done a much better job doing emotional moments earlier on. Things that can stick with you for years afterwards as you go, holy shit. But I don't think this game pulling this moment earlier on would have done anything for me. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's offensively bad or something, but at best all it can get out of me is a shrug. I don't feel bad for continuing to attack these 2 that are saying their goodbyes to their son. The background music isn't doing anything to make me feel sad like the scene wants me to. It's just there. Oh, please go. I'm fairly certain that Rosa is running out of arrows for whatever that's worth. Thank you. That's 1 down. Now for the other. Huh. guess she wasn't as terrible as her husband, or they would have disintegrated regardless of how much we pounded on them. And it was set on a timer or something. Anyway, all those who feel like that scene added nothing, please raise your hands. Well, okay, maybe not nothing. It's showing that Rubicante is far more honorable and empathetic than the rest of Golbez's troops that we've had to deal with. But then, most of them were just throwaway monsters that happen to be given slightly more important roles than the random encounters. This guy has something more going for him, and good God, do I wish we could recruit him instead of Edge. Wait, seriously? Him getting mad unlocked more power for him? I'm sorry, but I'm starting to get the feeling that this game wants to treat anger as something positive. Sure, Tellah died due to his anger, but it let him learn the legendary spell Meteor, and let him remember all the things that he had forgotten. And Edward never really got that strong. Was that because he was depressed and kept doubting himself instead of being a hot-blooded pile of anger? And excuse me for finding it a bit sad that the final elemental boss was only fightable when the new guy learned an attack that's specifically something he is weak to. I just do not know what they were going for him, and I just do not feel invested in the least. Nice to see Rubicante can do a lot of damage. Good God, I should not be rooting for the bad guy here, especially when he's supposed to be a high-ranking member of the vicious villains that want to destroy the world. Granted, we never really got a reason why they want to destroy the world, although I suppose the reason doesn't matter. We live here, we do not want it to end while we're still on it. Still, it would have been nice to learn why someone's respectable like Rubicante is working alongside the rest of the elemental fiends in Golbez. Ugh. I'm sorry, are you going to do anything to make this less one-sided in our favor? We literally felt in more danger dealing with the random encounters than we do fighting you, though maybe it's a little early for me to be saying that. So he's hiding in his cloak now? Okay, that's interesting, but a little tough to avoid ending up falling into. He still takes neutral damage from regular attacks, even if he absorbs the things he was weak to now. And it's not like he's doing all that much damage to us in return. There's also the fact that these spells take time to do, so he might end up switching to his cloaked form just as the spell charges up to hit him hard. This is just slowing down his defeat, not making it feel all that possible for him to defeat us, though I suppose the longer it goes, the more of a chance he has to wear us down. Hell, it's not even like when he absorbs the spells that he's absorbing the amount of damage he would have taken if he didn't close his cloak. It's just, ugh. Anyway, looks like Edge doesn't have enough MP left for another flood. I suppose I could use an Ether on him, but yeah. Guess it's down to regular knife work from him for the rest of the dungeon. Anyway, here on commentary, I'm only just noticing that he's casting Fear with every attack we do, or at least the physical ones. Were we supposed to wait him out while he's hiding in his cloak or something? Because when I was actually playing through, I did not notice that. I was just too busy groaning at the previous story beat. Bloody hell. He caught out of the cloak in time for Rydia to send Shiva out. That's gonna make this last even longer. And as I mentioned, I feel more sympathy for Rubicante, the boss we are supposed to kill here, than the man who recently joined our team and just lost his parents. Granted, I've worked with worse than Edge over the years in my gaming, but still, really doesn't feel like we'd lose much of anything in the story if he never became a playable character. Well, nothing other than the strict utility of a ninja in a Final Fantasy game, and My mistake, I sent out Titan instead of Shiva there. Ah, well, he did a good amount of damage, and we still have the complimentary Blizzaris spell for some reason. I wonder why that's been getting thrown into the mix whenever Rydia does an attack here. Does Rubicante have enough going against him for the moment? He is just getting absolutely slapped around with ease, and doing nothing to make me feel like he's actually a more dangerous opponent than the previous 3 Fiends. The only real thing he's got, as far as I can tell, is just how durable he is. Looks like Edge is about to fall down. That kind of makes his power-up just before the fight feel a bit less impactful, but I suppose that's on me, not him. Yeah. I know it's my fighting style that's kind of screwing him over here, but poor Edge just cannot manage to measure up to the likes of the White Power Ranger or Sasuke Uchiha. I doubt he'd feel all that bad about that, though, since those two were not invented yet. And apparently that big shot that Cecile could just shrug off is something that can one-hit kill Rydia. And I assume many other members of this team. Seriously, why is he not doing that more often, considering how little his multi-hit spell is doing? And just how much more of a beating can he take? We've been at this for a while now, and while I'm not fighting strictly the game how the game wanted us to, we're still doing quite a bit of damage to him. He's gonna run out of health sooner or later, right? Well, it's no surprise that Rydia is more fragile than everyone else, but, yeah. I just don't get why Edge had to be that fragile as well. Dear God, I am just so utterly mindless in this fight, not giving a damn about the fire attacks that are coming at us here as a counterattack. I mean, I felt more afraid of the hedgehogs earlier on in the game. Hell, with the amount of health that Kane recovers with every strike, I'm not even sure it's possible for Rubicante to be able to kill him. I should be feeling pressured here. We got 2 people down, and Cecile keeps getting worn down pretty hard. Rosa is getting close to getting knocked down. I should be adjusting my tactics to fit the enemy we're fighting. So why the hell am I just plain not doing so? Why am I not more worried about fighting someone this far in who clearly has a hell of a lot of health and a counterattack that strikes the entire party at once? Why am I not trying to do more to conserve MP and items when we are this far into a dungeon and no clue how long it'll take for us to leave it? Anyway, at this point it doesn't matter whether his cloak is open or shut, since Rydia's down, can't do any more ice-related magic, and it's not like Edge has been able to use that tsunami thing for a while now. By the way, why does his attack strength vary so much between Fira shots when he's throwing the same attack at the same number of people for the same reason? Just feels a bit random there. And that's a one-hit kill on Rosa. I'm honestly surprised that didn't happen earlier. Nothing we can really do about that one-hit kill attack, other than just hope that when Kane or Cecile get hit, they can survive it. But since he only counterattacks for the physical strikes, pretty sure we were meant to be very patient and just have Edge and Rydia do the vast majority of the damage instead of doing it as inefficiently as this. But, it just didn't feel right to me. The game wants to act like rage is somehow the secret to gaining power, and I've been attacking like a madman in the clip so far, It's almost like I want the bastard to prove his words, that anger does not make you a better warrior. I am rooting for the guy we are supposed to beat. I'm also more than a little annoyed that the team went in to help Edge in his little vengeance charge, but not Tella, who was doing the same thing earlier on. Does anyone else find the inconsistency makes things worse? Oh, I disagree with you there, sir. I fought like a bloody drunkard. It's just that you weren't a good enough opponent to really punish me for my mistakes to the point of taking out the entire party. Just 3/5 of it, which, okay, that's respectable. Good God, the lack of respect from me is just sad at this point, because he is a legitimate threat. Why do I not feel it? Hopefully, when we meet again, I'll be in a better headspace so I won't fight like an absolute moron. I'm pretty sure Edge knows that wasn't an especially great showing as well. Wait, what? The guy we just killed said he's gonna come back later on in the game, and Edge is saying, "I've avenged you?" As if it's done? Oh, good God, I am not getting the sense Edge is a very respectful prince, is he? It's not over! The guy's leader is still at large, and the guy we just killed said he's gonna come back later. So I'm fairly certain in the final dungeon we're gonna have to fight souped-up versions of the 4 elemental bosses, just like back in Final Fantasy I. I'm pretty sure this game is the final game in the series that pulls that sort of bullshit. I guess they figured that as they wanted to work on better stories, that they just shouldn't have some major bosses show up again, just for the sake of giving an interesting challenge later on. On the one hand, yeah, we kinda do want to stop Golbez, and other things kinda need to be put on hold until then. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure Edge would find any excuse not to do his princely duties anyway, because he's a bit of an ass. He'd be finding excuses just for the sheer sake of just remaining a teenager for the rest of his life. Probably why he's called Edge. Bloody hell, at least Edward had the excuse that when his castle was destroyed, he had no clue where any survivors might have run off to, or how to get anything repaired. Considering how much I don't like Edge's dialogue, the lack of character interactions in this game might be doing him a favor. Fewer moments for him to get on my nerves and all that. Really feels like if I bothered to give a damn in that fight that we wouldn't be in this bad shape after it. It probably would have helped if it ended faster too, but I suppose it's not too surprising that I wasn't all that attentive there. It's not like the story is doing all that much to wake me up, or make me actually give a damn. And the various subplots have just not been hitting that well for quite a while. I'm sorry, what? Are we seriously getting another moment of the bad guys getting an unearned victory for the sake of keeping things rolling for a little while longer? I'll take your word for it. I doubt that actually did anything to our health bar. All it did was essentially do yet another point of no return. Even though there was nothing to return to in the previous area that we just got ejected from without warning other than maybe the save point. So, whatever sense of accomplishment we might have had beating Rubicante would be gone because of a trapdoor we had no choice but to walk over. Well, joke's on them, I didn't have much of a sense of accomplishment after that fight because I was so disinterested in the story and build up this far that I didn't even try fighting all that tactically, which I'm probably gonna be paying for the rest of the clip. It was just a mindless punch-out, where we happened to be the last one standing. So mindless that I took unneeded casualties when I should be damn worried about our supplies as we keep pushing onwards, with no sense of when we're gonna get to the next save point or when we can go to a town and resupply. definitely feels like I've been retreating every time we get a back attack that shifts the rows around. Part of that is probably because of the action bar that turn order is determined by, and I'm just not a fan of taking so many free hits. In Final Fantasy 1 and 3, it felt like the order everyone would move was pretty random after you gave your orders, so you never really had that issue. I honestly prefer how turns were handled in Final Fantasy 4 to 9. Just the way the bar ends up filling, you get a sense of anticipation every time one of your characters gets to attack, but maybe that's just me. The way 10 turns were handled in 10, where you can see what order everyone will move in via portraits on the right side, felt like a good upgrade from the old style that removed the random nature of who did what next. It's gonna be a bit funny for me to go back to 3 after this game, and go back to slightly more annoying gameplay mechanics, but again, the story in this one is just getting on my nerves. The beginning was amazing, the middle feels like an absolute mess, and I'm not too sure how they're going to bring everything together for the finale, considering what they're using to build things up. Whereas with 3, the storytelling is so basic that there's no way they can screw it up. Again, why is it that sometimes that attack from those cats just temporarily paralyzes a character, and other times it's instant death? I'm not really seeing the pattern for it, not that I've been all that observant in this clip. Either I wasn't noticing that Rubicante was using a full party Fira with every physical attack he took, or I just didn't give a damn. Either way, I wasn't looking too good after that fight, and clearly I'm not looking good as I keep pushing on in this dungeon. We're still standing, we're still making progress, but good God, we're getting ground down to a fine paste. And the biggest factor, as far as I can tell, is just that I've become kind of apathetic, which is in turn making me look pathetic. Oh boy, I was not expecting this 29 clips in. Running out of healing items and magic to heal with. When are we going to be allowed out of this dungeon? Can we at least get a save point so I can use a tent or two? Well, the high potion is appreciated, but we're definitely gonna need more than just the one. Especially at the rate we've generally been taking damage around here. Why did I bother spending a cure on a guy who heals with every strike he lands? My brain is just not firing on all pistons in this clip, is it? Oh, good God, another pair of cats. Well, at least they went down before they did anything especially annoying. That's a small mercy. Good God, am I only just now noticing that some of the enemies in this dungeon have been counterattacking us repeatedly, and I somehow didn't realize, as I kept mindlessly slapping them around from floor to floor. If and when I get around to working on the 3D remake of this game, this is gonna be downright grueling compared to all the other games, isn't it? Okay, So not only did I just misread the map I was looking at and have to do some backtracking, I'm just getting pounded into base and never keyed into why for so many of these fights. If I was the type to give episode titles to my clips, I'd probably call this one I'm Clearly an Idiot at the Moment. But part of the point of these journeys is if you can keep on going regardless of mistakes. And, well, we're still going. So Rydia has learned the ever-brilliant spell, Osmose. Definitely appreciated, but it would have been better if someone who can heal learned that trick, or if there was some way for Rydia to get her MP into someone else so they can use it. But I suppose that's the reason that Rydia had to lose the ability to use white magic when we got her back, and why Tella was unable to grow beyond a certain point in the numerous stats no matter how much we leveled up. Having Osmose and healing magic is just brokenly good. Well, at least some of these counterattacks miss. I could use every bit of mercy I can find, considering how I've been fighting. Really? Only 1 point from that draw? Yet another fight done, and clearly there's not much time left in the clip for more fighting. We may not be able to reach a save point in under half an hour's time, but clearly I found a decent enough point to say this clip is over soon. I just need to push that far. Just need to hold out a few minutes more. Then maybe things will improve for me in the next clip. Though at the rate I've been going through clips in this game, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be at this Let's Play for at least a few more months. Ah well, it was my choice to go through a longer, older game like this. And it's not like the annoyances I've been having with this LP are turning me off of working on other games in the series. It's just making the idea of doing the 3D remake of this particular game feel less appealing. Bloody hell, I know the 3D remake of Final Fantasy III is more difficult than the Pixel remaster, so I would not be surprised if the same is true for the remake of Final Fantasy IV. Really? You do a magic attack and the enemy counters with Reflect? Who decided to make so many enemies that we'd run into for random encounters have counterattacks in this game? There are endgame enemies in the other games in this franchise that aren't as aggravating as this. Why? Well, at least a paralyzed knight can't counter. That's certainly nice to end this clip on.